guess start this off. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your acting career and how you kind of ended up doing the voice of Commander Shepard?
Basically, I did my first work for BioWare back in 1999 on Baldur's Gate 2: Shadows of Mom, and I was actually just one line in the final cutscene, so you had to play the whole game to even see me. Basically, BioWare just kept inviting me back. Like the next thing that they got me to do was a larger role in the expansion pack of Baldur's Gate 2, which was called Throne of Fall, and I played Cyric, the God of Murder. In that one, and I was really excited about that because I played Dungeons and Dragons, so I'd read, books about Cyric. I knew he was an established character, so cool. And
that's really cool. I love those games.
I'm just gonna get rid of the. There you go. There's a bit of a turn down your radio if you're listening at home situation.
Right.
There you go. Okay.
So, so like, how excited were you when you kind of said, kind of offered you to roll like one of the lead character in a series, like.
It was pretty great. I mean, as I said, I kept getting called back to BioWare. So, after I did the second Baldur's Gate game, they kept calling me back for stuff. I did a lot of demo work on Star Wars: The Old Republic, Jade Empire, Neverwinter Nights, Swords of the Underdark, various expansions, Kingmaker. I think I did some stuff on, and then basically when I was approached to actually audition for Shepard, I was already working for on Mass Effect. I was designing alien sound sets. I was the one who sort of determined how all the alien races would sound. So they brought me in, presentation with them. They liked the direction I was going. So I was already working for BioWare at that point, and then they asked me to audition for Shepard, and I honestly didn't think I'd get it. I was like, okay, I'll audition. But we both know I'm just going to end up doing alien sounds. So when I actually got it, it was a pleasant surprise, to say the least.
So that's pretty awesome. Now, I also know that you're going to be doing a small fan film called Red Sand based in the Mass Effect universe, correct?
Yeah, I did my work on that. That was just a few days back in January. That's a project by the University of Advancing Technology in Arizona. And so it's a class project, essentially, for the whole school. And they contacted me. Their instructor, Paul Negris, got a hold of me through my agent and sent me the script. And I liked it. And of course, also for a good cause, because this is contributing to these students' education. So we managed to, they actually very nicely put off shooting for a couple of months so I could come down and do it. We found a hole in my schedule for a few days, and I don't know if you've seen the pictures from Facebook, but it's largely shot on green screen. So the vast majority of what you see is going to be created by the students. And that's kind of the whole purpose of the project, is to showcase their digital effects work. The teaser, which is up on YouTube right now, I was just standing in a blank green room. I'm the only thing that's real in that shot. Like everything, the floor, the ship, Mars, everything has been built by the students. So I'm really looking forward to it. It was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, now, what's kind of the premise there? I saw that as 35 years before Commander Shepard.
Yes, yeah. So this is before, essentially before Shepard is born, and I play John Grissom, who, if you've read the books and of course even just played the games, he's the guy who Grissom Academy is named after. And it's set at it's right at the point where humanity discovers the Prothean ruins on Mars. So mankind hasn't taken that technological leap forward yet. We don't have FTL, we don't have any of the Mass Effect relay technology. There's obviously the weapons and armor are different as well. So it's kind of cool because it's looking at the very beginnings of the Mass Effect universe. So I mean, humanity hasn't even made first contact with the Turians yet, as far as they know. Like the Protheans existed and they were an ancient alien race, but as far as all the aliens are dead and humans are the only thing there is.
Now, I kind of noticed that you have actually a large knowledge now. It sounds like outside of the Mass Effect video games. Like, have you kind of become a fan of the series? Like, read the books yourself, or?
I haven't read all the books, and I apologize to Drew and the other writers of the books. I haven't read through all the novels, but I have read pretty much all of the comic series. I'm a big comic book fan, and Matt Walters, of course, who's written a lot of them, is a good friend of mine. So I've quite enjoyed the expansion of the universe through the comics, and I will get to the novels someday, I'm sure. know that there's other projects on the go. So I think that Mass Effect's going to branch out into sort of a multimedia empire, which is cool. I really like the universe BioWare's created. I mean, it's as detailed and fully realized as any fictional universe, you know.
And I have to give my compliments to your action figure collection.
Oh, thank you.
Very impressive.
These are mostly the Marvel guys and the Lord of the Rings bad guys up there. I mostly collect villains.
I approve.
Yeah.
So, what's it been like working on Mass Effect? Like, what was like, doing both Paragon and Renegade style choices? Like,
Well, that's the thing about Commander Shepard, right? It's a very unique character because it's almost completely determined by the player. Like Shepard's male or female of any race, a wide variety of backgrounds, and Shepard's personality is completely up to the player as well. So yeah, it's an interesting role to tackle, and we had to rely on actors, of course, both Jennifer Hale and myself. We rely on them to, which stream does this belong to? Often there's also dialogue that's shared between Renegade and Paragon, so you can't actually have wild emotional swings necessarily. You kind of have to keep things on an even keel so that if people do play this way, people are bouncing back and forth between Renegade and Paragon voices, that Shepard doesn't sound like he's having wild mood swings.
Yeah, makes sense. Do any of you guys have any questions for Mark?
How does he feel? Well, you can hear me. How do you feel about Jennifer Hale's acting as female Commander Shepard?
Oh, Jennifer's fantastic. I mean, when I got cast in this and found out that Jennifer Hale was going to be the female version of Commander Shepard, I was floored. I mean, she's one of the most prolific voice actors in North America, and does work. I was a fan of hers before I got cast in this because I like DC Comics cartoons, of course, and she does a lot of work on those, and just a lot of work in cartoons, period, and video games. So yeah, it was quite an honor to be cast as her other half. And I will admit I haven't done a complete playthrough as FemShep. I'm obviously too much of an egomaniac and play as myself. But I have, I've played a little bit as Jenna, seen certain clips and stuff like that. So I think it's fantastic. And as I say, I'm really honored to be part of the same character she is.
Yes. Do you ever have a moment when you're playing through as male Commander Shepard where you're like, oh, I should have voiced that a little differently. I think I should have enunciated there, not there. Like, do you ever have those moments?
Well, that's the thing. It's like, I can't think of a single actor who can sit down and watch anything they've done, like, whether it's TV or movie, and just go, I wouldn't change a thing. It's that's part of the thing of being an actor. It's like, especially when you're watching a recorded performance of something you've done, it's just, I might have done it differently. I mean, with this, it's often like, that's the thing they used. I know I did. But video games is such a collaborative art form, really, and even more than film, because everything that you see has been created by a team of people. In film, you turn on the camera, it's like, it's a huge team of people, there's makeup and wardrobe and everything, but it's, the camera is recording what's actually there. In video games, everything that you see has been literally created from ones and zeros by a vast number of people. And then you've got, voice actors coming in, you've got art direction, you've got so many people collaborating to make everything that you see on screen.
What you kind of mentioned about the occasional review you had about certain lines, that reminded me actually of a Q&A I did with Stephen Bloom a few months back. And one thing I found interesting is he does not watch or listen to anything he's done.
He's probably
doesn't touch it. There's no regrets.
Well, that's probably a good way to approach it. But it's like, how could I resist playing a game where I'm here? Because I'm here already. But I have to play them. I got to see it. And plus, it's really cool just to see everything come together. I actually got to go into BioWare a couple of weeks ago, just before I went out to MegaCon in Florida, and they let me just sit down and play the game, not the demo, but the actual game. And so I played for about 4 hours. And then because I was at BioWare, they were able to skip ahead and show me certain keys. Just seeing everything put together in the world is always thrilling to me. I enjoy playing the games and just like watching But so the factor of running into people I know as aliens. It's like, oh hey, that's my friend Jeff, who's that alien in that bar.
Do you, out of all the squad mates through 3 games, which one would you say is your favorite teammate?
Well, hard to say because I haven't actually played too much of Mass Effect. I did 4 hours, and that's a drop in the bucket. Come on. So in my first game, Rex almost never left my side once I had him in the party. He was my go-to guy, and actually on that playthrough of Mass Effect 1 and 2, I just sort of made that part of the story that Rex and Shepard are friends, and no matter what, Shepard will back the Krogan and thinks the genophage is a terrible travesty, been wrought on people. So it's just some luck that all come together. So let's see, Rex, definitely. Garrus a lot. I tend to pick the sort of more exotic aliens and biomechanical life forms. So Legion, definitely in the second game, he was around a lot. Morden, Grunt, all those guys. And then I took Tally out a few times because one of my Shepards was romancing her. So
I think that just answered my next question because our viewers seem to be very obsessed with who we're romancing in our games. So it seems
sure.
You romanced Tally. Any other ladies in there?
Okay, well, my Renegade, which I tend to play Renegade first and then play Paragon second. So my Renegade was romancing Ashley in the first game, and then in the second game, because Ashley wasn't a companion character that you could take with you, let's see, who was it? Oh, I had a brief fling with Jack. Had that sort of brief and meaningless bout of sex with Jack. He was a Renegade, it was fun, and then ended up with Miranda. And my Paragon romanced Liara, and would have stayed loyal to her, but she wasn't in as a playable character in the second game, and this was before the Lair of the Shadow Broker DLC. So Paragon switched over to Tally. So I haven't showed a lot of fidelity, I'm afraid, my love interest with my various Shepards. I am thinking about actually going back and doing a playthrough right from ME1 all the way through, because I actually lost my ME1s, my Xbox Red Wing dummy, so I had to sort of recreate those stages as best as possible when I played ME2. So I might actually go back and play all the way through. Maybe stay loyal to a girlfriend.
So to all our female viewers out there, now you know where Meer stands on relationships.
Yeah, no, that's only in the game. I've been happily married.
One thing I find interesting about the Mass Effect universe is the concept of BioWare has kind of taken the idea of canon out of their hands, just in the strict game universe. Like, there are certain things that if they can be considered canon overall, but so many ultimate decisions are completely different. Can be completely different between the games. Yeah. To you, what's your canon? Like, what big decisions have you made throughout the game? Like, what do you consider your Mass Effect universe?
Well, even canon, could be. I only did 2 playthroughs. I know that's a small number compared to some people, but my playthroughs were wildly different. It's hard to say what's canon. Like, is my Renegade canon or is my Shepard canon? Is the real Commander Shepard a ruthless bastard, or is he a noble hero? He's actually both. Even just in the 2 games that I played. So it's really hard to pick. And as I said, Shepard is so malleable. I know that there in the advertising up to this point that male Shep is a lot of focus, but I'm glad that female Shepard actually got her own trailer for this game, and I think that's long overdue. As I said, Jennifer's a fantastic actress, and I actually kind of thought it was going to be that way from the very beginning. That we'd both be featured in whatever advertising, and that was a selling point of the game, is that Commander Shepard can be whatever you want them to be.
And I've also noticed that you've done some improv comedy acting.
I've done some improv comedy. In fact, that's kind of my focus. That's the main thing I do.
Yeah, has that affected or influenced how you are in the voice acting studio? Like,
I think improv is really valuable in that when you're doing a game like this, a lot of the time the dialogue that you're doing is a cold read. We don't get